W3C Season 4 Finals. We go from top 8 double elimination to 16-player single elimination. And our 8 matches here in the round of 16 are ToD versus LiilD.C. This is gonna be our first game. Please versus Cooper. Mikael playing all the way from South Korea. He's up against Sad. We got Grubby returning finally after taking a little bit of a hiatus in Season 3. The man is back and he has a tough opponent in round 1. That's gonna be Hawk. Of course, we're gonna broadcast that for you as well. Axlord versus Blade. We got Cash versus Neutron. Happy versus Kraft. Kraft's first tournament, not playing on a laptop, on the desktop. And he's up against Europe's Dominator. Can he bring him to fall already? And we got Thorzane versus Sheik as another one here. And I see we have another big donation coming from Get Rich Brother with the $150. Thanks to everyone contributing to W3C. It's incredible. Tournament hype, Safe Orcas, Patrick Swayze, John Beamham. Unbelievable. We cracked the 1K and we're only 9 minutes into the broadcast.
That's pretty crazy. Guys, you're doing an amazing job. We have a lot of support here for our stream as well. Ramaphosa with a sub, Reptile, Nebo HSV, Randius, Noyona Yellow Rookie, plus 2 times daily, Midnight Tim, Jaeger with a 5 gifted subs, and Kratos. Guys, well, seems like you've been looking forward to 2021 with us coming back, and Robond as well with a 20 gifted subs. We're all really hyped. Brolin with the sub, Nunox with a 10 euros saying, for the Warcraft 3 devs and especially B2W, you guys are simply awesome. You guys are very awesome as well. Corey Curler with the 10 gifted subs. Dude, you guys are giving so much. It's amazing. It's wonderful. Yeah, what a start. What a start to this day. And we have some games coming up as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, we're just reading numbers here on this channel. Thank you very much, Corey, with the 10 gifted subs and the more supporters coming in. But guys, let's focus on what you're all here for, and that is games. Round of 16. It is ToD versus LiilD.C. This is a rematch of Season 3, where it was the quarterfinal, and LiilD.C in Season 3 was absolutely outstanding. What a run from the Swede, making it all the way into the top 3. The biggest upset in Season 3. And can you repeat that? Or is it time for ToD to make a splash here? Because LiilD.C, we know it by now, he is a father of a little child. Maybe, you know, Christmas and New Year's, family time. ToD, the madman, he was grinding. He was grinding on Christmas. He was grinding through New Year's. He put in the work. And I hope he's in tip-top shape. He's gonna need it. Game number 1, this best of 3 round of 16. ToD versus LiilD.C. We have arrived, Remo.
All right.
Feels good. Yeah.
Feels good to be here. Back on the Warcraft battlefields. We're going to start off this best of 3 on Last Refuge. And yeah, ToD versus LiilD.C. You know, ToD, we've worked with him a lot for DreamHack. Has become a good friend of ours. I would certainly go so far as to say that, and is a very, very strong human player, of course, especially against Night Elf. In the past, looked really good. But his most recent statements were that on the newest patch, he doesn't feel as confident as on the older one, with like a slow being affected and clap. There have been a few changes. LiilD.C, in my opinion, a great Night Elf player whom we don't get to see that much. He plays some tournaments, he plays some ladder, but he's not a full-time pro gamer, so he can't play it that much. But I think especially micro-wise, he's super strong and is much more one-base execution, map control focus than many other Night Elves are, who are more about expanding and harassing. Especially with the Keeper. Here by him, we see the Demon Hunter. Very old school opening.
And you know what? We also see an Engine of War on the left-hand side. So he's not creeping at all. Usually every Night Elf starts with the Engine of War at the little green in the bottom. But that's untouched. He's just going for full pressure early on. Demon Hunter 0 experience, trying to prevent the progress of ToD and maybe shut down an expansion attempt. I wonder, is he okay, we saw a mana burn already, so it's no immolation, but especially this triangle here with the mercenary camp that was already disrupted, plus the Murlocs and maybe the camp from the left-hand side, can cause a lot of trouble, and ToD already under so much pressure.
Yeah, he's out of mana here, which is annoying for the AM, but the Demon Hunter usually his big strength is, of course, burning and disabling, but also having good trade potential with his right clicks by gathering items, by getting some levels, by getting evasion, but he has no items and only level 1, so he is not that dangerous in terms of damage output. The footies will suffer a little bit here and there, but the AM already got level 2. And ToD obviously knows this is a super aggressive opening. He doesn't have to expand against this because he's quite a bit ahead in experience already.
Indeed, and good inventory as well. Another Wisp comes in for a possible detonate. The Murlocs have caused some damage thanks to the poison, so one of the footmen goes down, the other one is safe to the right-hand side. Slowly but steady, DC has to take care of his Demon Hunter. Water Elemental was denied. That is a signature move of ToD, already taking care of that to not give any experience, if possible, to his opponent, and that works out quite well. Hard-hitting Archmage can't reach for another Fireball, but man, this Demon Hunter has to go home and chill a bit.
Yeah, this opening for DC so far doesn't seem to be working out too well. He slowed down ToD, yes, but he didn't get that much stuff done in terms of kills, in terms of creep steals or something like that. And now the expansion is coming up pretty much without much of a problem. AM is chasing the archers away. His right clicks certainly are respectable, hoping for another clause. Please not a ring, says ToD, and he doesn't get one. He gets the circlet, also very good.
Definitely happy with that. So we get boots on the Demon Hunter, but still no level 2. The tier 2 tech is also only at 65%. Not too perfect. He didn't rush the tech too much. I don't know. ToD seems to be pretty stable, especially when defense is ready, and that is the case right now. So the archers pretty much don't do anything. He's trying to knock down this upcoming Town Hall, but no chance. ToD, very, very stable.
Yeah, this opening by DC, I haven't seen it in a long time, and maybe there's a reason for it. It didn't seem to achieve that much yet. His biggest strength is, I guess, that he slowed down the expansion and he has plenty of archers now to work with. But Human has a very strong counter against archers early on with Defend, which is now researched. Fairly expensive upgrade, but certainly worth it if you can minimize so much damage that might be coming out from the enemy side, which is the case here. But now comes in the second hero. Naga, we go. I was wondering, might this be a talent push? But we do see a Hunter's Hall, so apparently Dryads will be coming in at some point, but not yet. The Demon Hunter again, super hurt. The Naga's gonna try to return the favor here. Nice splits by the footies, look at that. Two towards the south. AM against Archmage, against the Demon Hunter, and he dies.
It's only level 1.
Lets him fall. That might be smarter, he was only level 1. But did even a single footman die right there? I'm not sure.
I don't think so. There's 0 experience on the Naga. And we say this for probably 10 years. If you pick the Naga second hero, you want to cause damage in the first 90 to 100 seconds, and that is absolutely not the case. ToD on 2 bases. ToD has started the tech, waiting for the blacksmith and then some riflemen. LiilD.C on the other side. No tier 3 tech yet, only 1 lore. And the Demon Hunter has to be rebuilt. This is not looking good for the Swede at all. You mentioned that LiilD.C not playing too many tournaments since the last ladder finals, where he had that miraculous run. He played the Swedish in-house LAN, where he made it to the grand final against, of course, Thorzane. And there he got the second place at least. But yeah, apart from that, not much that we saw from him. ToD on the other side, getting first place in his ESL Meisterschaft group, being qualified for the top 4 that will be played on January 23. So very, very soon as well.
Yeah, LiilD.C's in trouble. He's on a timer here. He's playing 1 base pressure. Usually, you have to win the game outright or do severe damage before the second hero for the Human comes out. Once that is out, plus a few tier 2 units, normally there's no way for the Night Elf to keep up that pressure anymore. High number of archers still. None of them have fallen. DC is going for tier 3 and probably wants to go Mountain Giants or Bears. He's going double lores, so it seems like Bears is the call. Of course, rejuvenation for a Demon Hunter always very valuable, who's always standing the front line and tanking plenty of damage. But look at this experience count, man. The Demon's still only at 60, the Naga only at 100. He doesn't even have any real spells yet to use.
That is absolutely correct. Well, he got mana burn, but that's pretty much it. ToD dominating every single regard of this game so far. What can you possibly do with 2 level 1 heroes? ToD's certainly happy about his level 3. That's all he wanted. Second Rex is coming up. The blacksmith is coming up. So we're going to see a lot of riflemen against what's to come. Or will he switch to tier 3 and go for knights instantly?
Could go for both, starting out with rifles and then switching later if he has to. But it seems prudent to start out with some rifles because he realizes, well, his opponent still isn't expanding. So as long as ToD just makes units, holds on, doesn't die, he should be looking in a very fine spot indeed. And especially against Dryads, rifles would do very, very well. We have the Blacksmith finishing up now. Tier 2 is finished. Second hero, ToD, still prefers Naga quite a bit nowadays against Demon Hunter. Over on Asia, we see a lot more Blood Mage, but ToD perhaps a little bit more old school with that. We see Naga still plenty of times from him, and we see her here again. She can also work out fairly well against the Demon, especially early on. Doesn't have the insane power of level 2 Siphon later on, but right now, pretty valuable to have. And with that strength, ToD finally can continue a bit of creeping again, gets the shop, and a big item.
And we all know that ToD loves creeping, and if he has the time, why not? We see your supporters coming in like crazy. Absolutely bonkers. We're gonna take the time in between the games to read all of it and thank all of you, because, you know, you want to see some games and not only numbers and names, right? The same goes for the Maturino prize pool, which is just surreal to see it grow so crazy. So we read everything, we read all the subs and all the donations in between the games.
So the game has slowed down a little bit. We haven't seen a true fight here in a while. This would sometimes be the time where the Night Elf goes for counter expansion late, and then with their tier 3 advantage tries to force small skirmishes and delay the big death push for the human. Because on tier 2 or tier 3, when the human gets to 70, maybe 80 supply, that can be super scary for the Night Elf to deal with. And I think this is what we're seeing from DC right now. He wants to force a fight, a favorable skirmish, before the big death ball human army is available. However, there's still no counter expansion, so there's no real transition follow-up plan B behind this.
That's kind of true. Naga is out, of course, with Fork Lightning ready. Level 4 Archmage, still no level 2 mana burn. Scroll Protection used on not too many units. Maybe it is a very powerful timing for LiilD.C, as ToD's army isn't really up yet. He's waiting for the Sorks, he's waiting for more priests, he's waiting for some damage in terms of riflemen. They're coming now, trickling in, slowly but steady. So can ToD stall the time he needs? LiilD.C with good snipes on the casters. Also good drawbacks on all the herd units. Look at the micro, Remo.
Yeah, nice saves right there. It's not going to be too easy to heal them all back up again. What he wouldn't do for a heal ward. Could find the heal ward potentially at the lab, which is still open to creep, but that was a very solid hold by ToD. Fairly easy, really. He didn't even need the 70 supply. With how weak the Night Elf heroes are, there's no big threat. If the Demon gets 4, if the Naga gets 3 quickly, and they have maybe even double orb, then things can be dangerous even if you do have a significant supply lead. But that's not the case here. ToD, he has a few options now. He could decide to start pushing himself soon, but with that attack deflected just a moment ago, he also knows he's safe for a while. He could start teching now if he wants. He could also take a third base, so lots of options for ToD.
Yeah, and he's checking what LiilD.C is doing. He had illusions all over the map, so he knows it's just a little creeping and healing time. Will we see some mountain giants? Yes, we will. Resistance skin upgrade already queued. There's a little bit of a macro mistake, as the druid can't build and the upgrade is on hold behind that. So DC losing valuable time by pretty much doing nothing, just staying at 50. ToD on the other side, no tier 3 tech, 4 production buildings. And so more casters, more rifles, as DC is coming in for another attack.
It can be a really big problem for a human to deal with mountain giants without tier 3 tech, and it's kind of reasonable to assume that they're going to be coming. So I'm really surprised ToD isn't going tier 3 because of how helpful it could be. But he kept on creeping, as he loves to do. And here comes DC with a bit of a creep jack. I mean, the creeps are gone, but he's coming in now for the attack, going for the rifles right away, and the Demon Hunter again in problems. He is just not tanky at all. Still only level 2. He is now close to 3, but he just doesn't have the stats to really hold the front line in the impressive manner that often at other times he's able to.
Yeah, and ToD is just jumping from one big creep spot to another. Just found the Pendant of Energy, now aiming for that rat spot. And what can DC probably do? Half of his army, well, a little bit of his army is still slowed. Demon Hunter has a potion, but it's still very squishy. Naga is leading this charge. Not too sure that's the best thing to do. The rat spot. Oh, stolen by DC. Not bad. But at least the
Too bad
item.
he couldn't snipe the item. Helm would have been great for the Demon Hunter. But anyways, he finally gets level 3, taking out one Rifleman. And this is a bit of an awkward position here by ToD. If he goes in with A-Click, he's going to be partly attacking the creeps. The Demon in trouble again. Heavy focus fire upon him. There's a staff reserved with his name on it, of course. Demon Hunter out of the fight for now, but ToD lost a few units over here. If this bear could be saved, this would have been a wonderful trade for DC, but staff was, of course, on cooldown, so that one will be going down. ToD holds position, gets a little bit more experience, and is getting closer and closer to level 5 again.
Oh yeah, that can be real scary, especially if he at one point retrains to Blizzard. Very powerful. DC never trying to establish another base, never really had the time, was always under pressure. So now it's Mountain Giant time. With that, DC is jumping up to 60. That means his 50 supply army wasn't really perfect thanks to the lost bear and whatever else fell there. And I think ToD should have the firepower to break through this already. Like, yeah, Mountain Giant's very, very tanky, but should be fine in a straight up fight with the supply lead he has. Maybe it's a little bit of an issue that he never tacked a tier 3, so if DC stalls more and more time and gets 4 to 5 Mountain Giants out, that can be problematic. But ToD, what is there to gain for him? Like 3 supply, inventories are looking great with the heal scroll, and I think he sees it the same way as I do, just push and end the game.
Yeah, he's still only tier 2, but as you said, right now the Mountain Giants are manageable. If there's 4 of them plus double orb, then this tier 2 human army can suffer hard. But right now the Demon is suffering, again dropping so low. Has to get staffed out early. Moonjuice in the main is looking okay. He's going to be able to heal up fully and come back to the fight. He still has the boot, so he should be here soon. Even Militia coming into the battle. The Mountain Giants are standing there tall in the front line. The bears are dropping low. Everything is close to dying outside of the MGs. They're supposed to distract.
Yeah, and they use their taunt. Demon Hunter is back thanks to the Moonwells, but that should be the last piece of juice. The archers are not doing any damage, really, to watermen and to peasants. Okay, but the standing army, unaffected by this. Heal scroll to save the priest for a little bit longer. And ToD is even doing a lot of damage to the Mountain Giants. That's 300 apiece now. Dryads, once they're in range of the rifles, that could be problematic. Archmage here has the Ankh. Demon Hunter falls once more. For the second time in this game, wasn't ready to save him, and DC, yeah, all he has really is a hurt backline and a very hurt front line now. So the supply might actually lie here at this very case, Remo.
Yeah, ToD comes in here with a powerful attack before the MGs are too dangerous, especially this Demon Hunter. I feel like there was hardly any impact by him visible this whole game.
Yeah.
Most Night Elves nowadays rely on a Keeper first, maybe Warden first, maybe Beastmaster first, but Demon Hunter hardly ever seems playable anymore, and I think we saw a good example of it here. He's in the front line, he's vulnerable, he's getting slowed, he always seems kind of neutered, and now, well, he had to be revived from the tavern. That was expensive. ToD keeps on creeping, more and more, why not? And he gets the flute as well. Yep, gonna like that item.
Exactly. So, I think LiilD.C doesn't really like that tune of the flute, but maybe it is too late anyway. Demon Hunter back, redo cast. He would love to creep a little bit more himself for that level 2 evasion. At least he's under constant pressure, constant focus fire. That 20% dodge chance would be very helpful. DC now supply stuck, so he can't even catch up with his 20 supply deficit.
Wonderful position here for ToD as well. As long as his heroes don't die, because the bears have a super tough time connecting. Mountain Giants slowed down tremendously. And with all that bonus damage from the rifles, you can chew through these Mountain Giants at some point, even with 2 armor upgrades. Demon in the front, again getting focused hard, has the heal potion. That might not be good enough, though. The staff was on cooldown, the Demon dies again, and that must be the GG. There's level 5 for the Naga, which is something, but certainly not enough. GG is indeed called. 1-0 for ToD.
1-0 for ToD in a pretty good fashion, I would say. There was no real threat to him the entire game, as you said. And he takes it home, not making any mistakes, not missing any big timings. That was flawless. I mean, he was never pressured. He never fell behind. He had the game plan of expanding. LiilD.C knew that, and he played around that wonderfully. So, pretty cool game by ToD to open it up. And if we take a look at the bracket, Remo, there's one game possible that kind of stands out for the upper bracket half semifinal.
Certainly is. Certainly is. The former 4K teammates, the European legends, Grubby and ToD could meet. If they both win their first 2 matches in the round of 16 and quarters, they would be meeting in the semifinals for a brotherly meetup because, well, their recent encounters have been quite juicy, haven't they? And I think they both have a decent chance. ToD looking really good here in game 1, and Please and Cooper also very beatable opponents. Grubby is very strong against Human, although Hog is a beast, of course, but I think his Human matchup is really good. And against Mikael or Zed, hard to tell how they're going to do in this tournament / on this ping or on host spots, whatever. But yeah, ToD versus Grubby is absolutely possible, and I think that's everyone's dream semifinal.
Exactly. And a dream is what you guys do out there, because this was the first map of the tournament, not even the first match. And the crowd fund for the next season is at $1,666. Surreal contributions, guys. That is phenomenal. Julian, $150. Much love, much skill, much Warcraft. Twisted. Quentin with the $2, Proto Man with the $20, Happy New Year, a Chinese friend chipping in $10, the W3 Champions team is doing an amazing job, thank you so much. Insatiable Nico with the 20, there for 4 with the 10, don't you know it's Christmas time indeed. Governor with the 150, Agility with the 20, Peter with the 10, Brick with the 20, Shark, Love Machine, Praise the Soon, shout out my friend Spencer with 25, Coast, thank you W3C team, and back to Warcraft. Hope W3C talent will be used in future competitive games. MK, Jasper, Branding, so many people chipping in.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. This must be a record for how quickly we have raised these funds. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Don't stop yet.
After one map, we almost got to the 2K, and the 2K is the full funding of the next 1v1 season. And if we exceed that, we're even going to add a 2v2 tourney, which is pretty cool because they are very rare. Also, we don't want to forget about our supporters here on our stream. Thank you, DC with the 4 months, Stickloss with the 200 bits, Alright with the 18 months, Bob Zacameno with the 21 months, Muffin Man with a sub, Bendix with the 8 months, Explicit with the 43, Jorstein with the 2 months, Tasche Viz Mayer with the sub, Should Be Studying with the 4 months, Chris Baumspitz with the 25, perfectly timed, sort of, and Ben Vulture with the 3 months, Darth the Riz with the sub, Barown with a €10 donation, Alex with the 13 months, Past with the 3 months, Rack the Man with the 6 months, Alp Dur with the sub, Zebra Surgeon with the 36, that's 3 years, man, thank you, Daedalus with the €20, ZT Zoso with the €15. Just Watch OK with the 13 months, Ella Gatua with a 48, Funk Daddy with a 6 months, Snowman with a 10 months, Plesh One Shriash with a 12 months, Kiro Slays with a sub, Stephen Unger with a 14 months, Chriser with a 77. That is our record holder, 77 months for Chriser. Give it up for Chriser 87. Expert Smiler with the 8 months, Smokin' Wow with the 19 months, Proto Man Warcraft 3 with the 5 gifted subs, Noe with the 7 months, Argentum with the 22 months, and the Fervor with the 5 months. Guys, you are amazing. Thank you all so very much. You enable us to do what we're doing. And War3 Champions, your contributions are holy and wonderful. Thank you guys all very much. As we're soon about to head into map number 2, ToD looked wonderful there on map 1. I wonder what the practice for DC looked like. He must have played the strategy before, obviously, on LR with a fast move across. And maybe he experienced that a lot of humans are maybe greedy, trying to go for the Mercamp or the natural right away. And that's something he could punish, perhaps. But certainly not what we saw there. ToD had all the defenses ready and was easily in position to deflect anything that DC threw at him. And honestly, that first game was very, very one-sided. So DC is going to have to change it up now and play a much more reliable game, probably a 2-base game, because ToD, there's 2 things he loves to do. It's creeping and expanding.
Yeah.
And sometimes complaining about certain things. I guess you could add that in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But, creeping, not the best thing to do on Echo Isles, of course, but expanding. Oh, we love to expand on Echo Isles for sure. We have a little bit of a break here in this, but as I say it, caster curse? What's the opposite of curse? I don't know. What I know is
blessing.
We have blessing.
Like we are all blessed.
A caster blessing for sure. We have 4,500 people, and you wonderful 4,500 people want to see more action. So let's load into Echo Isles. No big bumper this time, Remo. Can just move over to game 2. And I wonder what the strategy is this time. Demon Hunter didn't work. Here's the Warden.
Hells yeah. A much stronger hero in this matchup. It seems certainly the ceiling of this hero. The Warden, a very unique hero in the way you have to play her. You have to be very efficient with your mana, with your creep routes, and I would say especially with your movement. You have to know where you're going. You can't just dilly-dally around and hope to play her like a keeper, like I'm going to go over here and see what I can do. I'm going to go over here and see what I can do. You have to have a very good game plan in mind, which is why the Warden in the best hands, aka LiilD and Foggy, can look insanely good, but in less experienced hands can look a little bit worse when you don't know at all times what your game plan, your creep route, and your counters have to be. But if she gets off to a good start, can be looking very strong. Of course, we all know how the level 3 Warden early game can dominate the map early and force kills quickly. And if she ever gets to level 5 and 6, she's of course an absolute menace. This is something that ToD will have to look out for and will have to react to properly himself.
Yeah. In the past, he dealt with this pretty good when the Warden was in the hands of Longwalk or a Neutron. Against players like Foggy, for example, he does struggle a bit against it, but I wouldn't say ToD is without chances. If he knows what's coming and the Footman is scouting, he knows exactly what's up. Can't really pressure. Too much Shadow Priest goes to the Swede, and so does the item. Engine of War is not under too much pressure, but it's 2 Wisp repair, so pretty expensive as the trees are not nearby. Can't really do anything. Ooh,
ToD playing very aggressively over here, going for the shop cancel. He's teching, he's not expanding. Shop gets cancelled. Important not to lose that one. Warden with the parry app, definitely a pretty bad item for her. You can min-max with the Moonwells a little bit, but it's not that amazing. Seems like ToD is very inspired here by what Infi showed before against Warden on this map. With counter expanding, especially against Foggy, ToD has had problems against Warden on this map for quite some time. Infi in WGL showed very impressively another way to deal with the Warden, and that is a fast tech, pressure early, try to not let her level too much, and then go for a tier 2 rifle / tower push with an Alchemist. That is how he defeated LiilD and moved on there in that quarterfinals in WGL in a very, very impressive manner. Is that what we're going to be seeing from ToD? Possibly, but of course he also has some other options still available to himself. He's hunting after these archers and wisps and Shadow Priest. Stressful early game right away for DC.
And I said we shouldn't really read all the contributions during games, but we're on map 2 of the tournament and we got $2,000.
$2,096! Hell yeah! You guys are going crazy. Absolutely amazing.
That's the record. Santa was good to you guys, wasn't he? Freaking surreal. Yeah, that's gonna be a global one. Don't start. Don't stop. We want the 2-on-2 tournament as well with an extra 500. Season 6 is gonna be epic, guys.
Pretty cool, dude. That's something to look forward to already, the Season 6 journey. Which is probably gonna be in around 2 months. Something like that. It's gonna have to depend on scheduling of other tournaments as well. But it's wonderful to see all your guys' contributions. And I think, yeah, we've all been hyped for some more Warcraft again after the winter break in the new year. And it's wonderful to see all this excitement, all these contributions. ToD's still very aggressive over here, still pushing into the main. He killed the Shadow Priest. I think he killed 2 Wisps, maybe? Not exactly sure, but he killed a few things. Warden now very close to her level 3. ToD, perhaps the best last hit denier in the game. Easy job for him. Not even worried about that ring.
Exactly. Just want to point out that all it took to raise this 2K was 35 minutes. Super surreal. Yeah, once again, thank you guys. Okay. ToD with the Blood Mage this time against the Warden. That's totally understandable. Warden relies on her spells, Shadow Strike, Blink, Fan of Knives, and if you take the mana away, then she has pretty much nothing to work with except the decent right-click and mobility. Very tanky Warden as well, so she won't be under so much trouble or pressure as the Demon Hunter was. ToD bravely creeping the middle here. Interesting.
The Warden's coming in and wants to get some more kills. She has that juicy level 3 now, the powerful Shadow Strike. Against this, you want to have some sort of healing. Blood Mage second.
And for the first time in 2021, Remo didn't listen to me while casting.
Yeah. Wait. Am I getting this mixed up? Was Infi playing Blood Mage or Alchemist on this map?
Oh, I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not 100% sure either. I could have sworn it was Alchemist, but now that I see the Blood Mages, maybe I'm wrong. Blood Mage can be very good, of course. The Siphon Mana ability makes the Warden's life difficult, but here with Shadow Melt, you can also play around it fairly well. This is a bold creep by ToD. Only 2 rifles. Okay, 2 more rifles coming in from the main, and priests as well. But here comes DC's force, trying to claim this camp for himself. 1 rifle very low already, but also the Warden out of mana already. And the priests, very helpful, finally coming in.
Yeah, Warden did a good job in pressuring the Blood Mage, keeping it low. But now she's kind of running out of fuel, chasing a couple of units here and there. But as we said, no mana, no competition for Syrah. And in the end, ToD might be able to get the marketplace, which is remarkable. We have a Naga second for DC as well. Makes sense against a Blood Mage. Constant damage without having much mana. Is it enough time for ToD to get his level 3 here? Yes, he got the last hit. And the item is Potion of Greater Healing, which is exceptional as well against the Warden for sure. And ToD, man. ToD looks so good.
Yeah, the timing here was definitely off by DC. He had to wait for the Naga too long. That Naga should have been there when the Warden came in. But either the Wisp was in position or the tech was a little bit too late. But something there definitely with the build didn't work out as well. But the Naga does help out against the Blood Mage very well. As you pointed out, she doesn't care about mana that much. Plus, she's hardly ever in range to get siphoned in the first place. And here we go. Tier 2 push into the Nile of Base. This is what Infi played. Not sure about that second hero choice, whether Infi played the same or not, but this is pretty much the strategy. You don't give the Warden the late game. Yep. You don't give her time for level 5, time for level 6. You push early on tier 2 and try to finish the game before any of that happens.
Water Elemental come in for the detonate, get rid of the Water Elementals, most of it. The problem with the Naga now is, of course, you won't be getting a level 5 Warden anytime soon. It's only 1 worker left. DC has to use a lot of Wisps to defend this. Blood Mage has the potion, he is safe, and DC is trying it with more pressure, but that also means more time for the Siphon Mana, and there's no Mana potion here. How do you keep the Blood Mage safe here now, though? With the level up and the banish.
That was just barely in time. If he doesn't get the level up there, he's probably gonna die. And he has infinite mana. He can banish himself so much. And when you're banished, you get more effect from healing. You take more damage from spells, but also you get more healing. Blood Mage in trouble again, but he just barely survived. That was 1 very nice heal potion. And you know what? That ring kind of helped.
Don't go there yet. I mean, we're gonna have ToD on the broadcast for the next game. So we can talk about rings there for sure. He's pressuring forward. He's getting, as you mentioned, more healing here, and he does have good damage. DC constantly losing time dealing with the Water Elementals, and the Warden is there. GG. Good luck in the tour. That was a very quick affair here in match number 1. The Phoenix of the season 2 finals, of the season 3 finals, when DC was reaching rank 3 in no time, is out first round.
Yeah, not his day, not his tournament. Maybe not that well practiced. Some very weird builds, especially map 1. The timings didn't exactly work out. It seemed like DC wasn't in such a good shape. Unfortunate for him, but ToD certainly looking good. We should focus on that. ToD looked super, super strong, and he's going to be going up in the next round against either Please or Cooper. That game is also going on right now, by the way, where the score is 1-1.
Indeed, and we might be able to catch the decision in that game, as the second set of games will only be started once everything is finished from round 1. So that would be Mikael versus Sad, and of course our game in Grubby versus Hawk, the most anticipated game of the day probably. So ToD, in the wake of the Meisterschaftsfinals, looking strong. Definitely got a few invites by DC to unfold his game the way he wants to, but no big mistakes, great denies, good game plans, good timings. ToD, that was quite remarkable. And his next opponent, Please or Cooper, looks doable to me. So he might be the one going into the semifinals tomorrow. All the games after round 1 will be played tomorrow. We're going to start early, so no plans for Sunday. Just lay on the couch, put on your smart TV.
Well. Church on Sunday, Neo, of course. You don't want to forget about that. You don't want to turn into a heretic. I just saved you from damnation. You're welcome.
Sure,
but
sure.
after that, 1 p.m., we all better be here because it's going to be amazing.
Exactly. So here's the bracket as it stands. LiilD.C out, one of the 2 Swedes we have in this tournament. ToD, one of the 2 Frenchies we have in this tournament in the quarterfinal. They will be played tomorrow against Please or Cooper. Up next, Mikael versus Sad on the B streams and Grubby versus Hawk on Back to Warcraft, obviously. So again, we have so many contributors for this tournament as we're getting super close to 2,500 mark that we couldn't reach last time. We couldn't get the 2-on-2 tournament last time, but now we're getting really, really close. Alpha Strategist with the €10, so much hype. Fat and Sloppy with the 10. Thank you for competitive Warcraft content. What a great fan base we have indeed. Rama with the 2, Pima with the 10, Robot with another 300, you madman. Ramaphosa with another 8, Hadrian with the 20, Raymond with the 10, Gobo with 350, Tomek with the 50. Super sick. Super sick. And now Remo reads you the Back to Warcraft contributions.
Absolutely. We had so many subs, guys. Amazing. Thank you all so much for the support here for our channel and for War3 Champions. X Promised with the 13 months, the Tommy Chat with the 45, Albs with the 4 months, Gold Azel with the 33, Hefty Sneeze with the 9 months, Lecrest Fallen with the €5, Flowbo Jory with the €5, Plathonius with the 6 months, Peepa Ja with the 4 months, Party Pete with the 9 months, Rompy Techless with the €6, Stefan with the 36 months, Sanolan with the 36 months, Gold Grabber with the 3 months, Proto Man Walk 3 with a gifted sub. Follow Grubby with or Grubby as his friends call him, with a 31 months as well. Thank you. Black Link with the 14 months. Snowfallen with the 3 months. Max O'Million with the 5 gifted subs. Russet Potato with the €25 says, thanks for everything you do, guys. Much appreciated. Hope you had a nice break and cheers to a 2021 filled with Warcraft. I can only echo that, man. Thank you very much.
Definitely.
Busty with the 17 months. Max O'Million with the 59 months. Eclipse Nova with the 3 months. Smokin' Jesus. That's a man by my taste. With the €15 donation says, welcome back. Happy New Year. Couldn't donate during DreamHack and WGL, but I catch up. Man, thank you very much. Donation and contribution. Very much appreciated. New Hero. One of our boys, one of our mods, one of our admins with the 26 months says, hi, friends. Hi, New Hero. How you doing? Mr. Bud Liquor with a sub. ToD with the 8-month 3 sub. No, wait, 35. Says, a lot of spammed emotes. Thank you very much, ToD. Congrats on your win. Tokotronic with the 5 months. I was almost about to start singing a Tokotronic song, but I think nobody wants to hear that. But we're all very grateful for your contributions. Guys, it has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And we are $50, around $53 away from funding the 2v2 tournament as well for War3 Champions Season 6 tourney. After one best of 3. That is crazy. $53. Guys, can I get $53, please? I'm like someone on QFC right now. Can I please get $53 for $2,500? If we hit that mark, then we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful Season 6 tourney. And already so early as well, the confirmation. So the War3 Champions team is going to be able to plan. They're going to have to do some work for the 2v2 tournament. And yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Should we need 53 more, guys?
Should we maybe give these guys a couple of reasons why W3C is so awesome and what the server is about, maybe?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right, you wonderful 5,100 people. W3 Champions has, unlike the original Battle.net, a wonderful, wonderful matchmaking that is even better than the W3 Arena matchmaking and definitely better than the NetEase matchmaking as well, as we have some doctors of mathematics working on that and improving that. Shout out to Toxie. Tailor-made for the Warcraft 3 community's needs for 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 4-on-4, and also FFA. We got competitive and active community from the top to the bottom. The ladder is full of engaged players with over 5,000 games per day over all the game modes. I can definitely agree with that. The Discord is wonderful as well if you want to be in touch with the players there. or with the developers, because they listen to everything, they respond to pretty much everything, and that is what we as a community deserves. Flow hosting, we talked about this for such a long time. On the original Battle.net, we only have 3 servers. Now, thanks to the W3 Champions team around Fluxu, we have servers pretty much everywhere in the world, 14 locations to provide the best possible conditions for players around the world. Cross-regional play is possible, will be possible in the future. So we will get our Happy versus Hitman games, our Hitman versus X-Lord games, our Foggy versus Cruncher games, and of course Asia will be included as well. And around Christmas we announced that we love this initiative. We know that this is absolutely necessary for the scene, so we sponsor all the Flow servers for the entire year of 2021. The end of season tournaments, you know it. This is number 3 in season 4. $2,000 prize pool. You help raising it, we help broadcast it, and W3 Champions bring us the action. You guys are wonderful. We are $9 away from the 2,500, and we are apparently minutes away from the next set of games. That means we can start Grubby versus Hawks, and we take a little break, we take a little breather, and you use the time to maybe contribute a little more to W3 Champions if you haven't. If raising the prize pool for the players is not enough, you can help W3 Champions as well. They have graphic artists, and everybody wants to get, or would be cool if they could get paid or at least get a beer for their efforts. You can go over to W3Champions.com. The support over here is possible via Patreon and PayPal. They are really, really happy for every single dollar that goes into the project, and they're not spending it on hookers and blow. They are very reasonable with it, so every single bit you can support is amazing. And we cracked the 2,500, so the season 6 finals will have 1-on-1 and 2-on-2. You're the best. We take a little tiny bit of a break, and then we're back with the most anticipated game of 2021. That is Grubby versus Hawk.